Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. The China-Russia meeting was a complete success, and China's peace talks triggered a chain reaction, which surprised the whole world. In the anticipation of the whole world, the China-Russia meeting was successfully concluded, the strategic cooperation between the two countries was further upgraded, and a series of important cooperation results were achieved, injecting firm strength into world peace. The U.S. Wall Street Journal commented very directly that China's bold attempt has surprised the whole world with the result. The U.S. media believes that China, as a global power, has begun to play the role of a major power around the world and boldly mediate global disputes. The U.S. media pointed out that China's bold attempt has resonated with most countries in the world, which is a result that surprised the world. China, a key country for world peace, has gradually become the consensus of most countries. Although the United States is still hyping and advocating the China threat theory everywhere, major countries in the world regard China as a force for peace. This is China's influence, that is, soft power. An article published on the website of the Mexican News Diver magazine pointed out that China's own development needs a peaceful environment, and China's great development achievements have nothing to do with plunder. China has followed a path of peaceful development, which is obviously different from the Western colonial and plundering model. The Mexican media believes that China's influence on peace has begun to be supported by more and more countries. The Global Security Initiative aims to eliminate the root causes of international conflicts and improve global security governance, and China's peace initiative has fulfilled this purpose very well. China played a decisive role in the handshake between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Moreover, China's mediation has led to Gulf countries trying to restore relations with Syria, Turkey and Egypt, and the Maldives and Iran. China's peace initiative on the Russia-Ukraine conflict has been supported by both Ukraine and Russia. China has made history and achieved remarkable results in improving its soft power. Munis Ahmad, former director of the Department of Social Sciences at the University of Karachi in Pakistan, pointed out that China has made history in the world and determined its status as a world power by relying on soft power. Pakistani experts pointed out that unlike the United States, which relies excessively on hard power to maintain its hegemony, China relies more on soft power to enhance its influence and has achieved great success. Joseph Nye, a professor at Harvard University in the United States, also pointed out that China has achieved great success in soft power such as diplomacy, culture, aid, trade, technology and investment, making history. American experts believe that China has improved its soft power completely by relying on the concept of peaceful development, and there is no element of plunder or expansion of force in this process. This is a great success in world history. American experts pointed out that China's Belt and Road Initiative, Middle East Peace Initiative, Russia-Uzbekistan Conflict Peace Talks Initiative, etc. have all been understood and supported by the vast majority of countries in the world, which will enhance China's influence in global affairs. China's soft power has created history, and China has successfully created a new model of world cooperation, and has injected more power into the world for peace. Nearly 100 countries supported China's counterattack against the United States at the United Nations General Assembly. They firmly stood by China and opposed the United States smearing and attacks on China. On March 22, local time, the Chinese representative made a speech at the 52nd session of the UN Human Rights Council, resolutely countering the smearing and slandering of Western countries, exposing the bad record and hypocrisy of Western human rights. China's position has been supported by nearly 100 countries, and they have expressed their position in different ways to support China's counterattack against the United States. Regarding the United States' attempts to attack and smear China and to suppress and contain China's development, nearly 100 countries have expressed their support in different ways, such as supporting the Chinese representative's speech or speaking individually. China's retaliatory stance has been enthusiastically endorsed by nearly 100 countries. At the conference, China clearly pointed out that those countries that try to slander China should first focus on solving their own internal problems, especially serious human rights issues such as racism, gun violence, drug crimes, forced labor, and sexual violence and exploitation. Stop violating the rights of minorities and vulnerable groups such as Africans and people of African descent, Muslims, refugees and immigrants, indigenous people, women and children. Abandon militarism and hegemony in the international arena, lift all illegal unilateral coercive measures against developing countries, and stop interfering in other countries' internal affairs and undermining regional stability under the pretext of human rights. China's counterattack has been enthusiastically supported by nearly 100 countries. Nearly 100 countries support China's counterattack against the United States, which reflects the voice of justice and also shows the future development trend of the world. What China does is in line with the trend of the times and is conducive to world peace, stability and development. The great achievements China has made are obvious to all, so the vast majority of countries in the world can clearly see the nature of the United States' smear attacks on China, and they all firmly support the counterattack against the United States' smear attacks. Nearly 100 countries support China's counterattack, which reflects the voice of justice. This also shows that China is winning the support of the world, and any attacks and smears are futile. The United States failed to attack China and called for high-level dialogue between China and the United States to seek China's support for the United States. The China-Russia meeting was a complete success. The peace process promoted by China has achieved great success. China has put forward the Russia-Uzbekistan conflict peace talks plan that has won widespread praise, and nearly 100 countries have supported China's counterattack against the United States at the United Nations Human Rights Conference, etc. The attack and confrontation failed. At the hearing held by Blinken, an American organization called Pink Code publicly typed Ukraine, talk now. Funds, remove Cuba from the list of state sponsors of terrorism, lift sanctions on Venezuela and Cuba, no war, and other slogans. These slogans also show that the American people are also dissatisfied with the US government's confrontation with China, because the consequences of such confrontation measures are borne by the American people. High prices, inconvenient life, etc. are all byproducts of the US's confrontation with China, and all of these are borne by ordinary Americans. When the confrontation failed and leaders of more and more countries, such as Spain and Brazil, actively visited China and explored cooperation with China, the United States was also anxious. The United States proposed the initiative of conducting high-level dialogue between China and the United States, and hopes to seek help from China to ensure that the current debt crisis and inflation crisis encountered by the United States can be alleviated. Obviously, the attitude of the United States has also undergone subtle changes.